Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of the 5 to 9 job, and today we are talking about something that I believe we have all faced, and that is the toxic people and the kind of negative energy they bring. Let me ask you this, how many times have you let someone's opinion ruin your mood, ruin your day or even your week? I believe we have all been in situations like this. You are just living your life and then suddenly someone's negative words or actions knock you off your happiness trail. And that's what I want to help with today. Because the thing is, you don't have to carry that negative energy with you after the thing or the person has happened. I face the same challenges more than I would like to, and that's why today I want to talk about how to protect your mindset, how to recognize when toxic energy is affecting you, and what you can do to overcome it. So by the end of the episode, I hope that you will have the tools to shake it off, to isolate, to recover, and to start living with more peace and purpose. So let's get into the episode. So, toxic people and negative energy. I've gone ahead to divide this episode into 3 segments. So the first being about recognizing toxic energy. 2 is about how and why it affects us. And then 3 is going to be about what we are here for, the tools and the tips. Segment 1 is recognizing the impact of toxic energy and how it affects us. Personally, I know that rage is eruptive, anger. You could go from 0 to 100 in seconds and not even realize that you are there, simply because you have had this build up of things happening and it kind of just gets into you, and then the smallest thing that triggers you, you are off. And that is how toxic energy is. It doesn't just hit you at once, it seeps in, it lingers, it comes to you through your actions, through your day, through your thoughts, and it just stays with you. So the key is in recognizing and having that awareness to say, you know what, this kind of environment is wrong for me. This kind of environment is inducing these kinds of feelings, this kind of thoughts, and I don't like it, because I know it is going to end up with me either shouting at my wife, shouting at a colleague at work, shouting at someone that doesn't deserve that kind of response. So you will see this negative energy coming. Let me give you a good example. Have you ever had to have a conversation with someone, and before you go to have that conversation with them, you are already dreading it? You get it? So that just goes to indicate to you that, you know what, whenever you are talking to this person, you don't feel good, you don't feel that kind of positivity. It could be a reason. I'm not saying that's all it is, but it brings up these feelings of feeling drained. You feel irritated. You start doubting yourself. You start replaying a specific word or sentence they said or action that they did over and over again. You get it, eh? That kind of exhausting feeling that you get. Because, you see, your brain is wired to seek connection and avoid rejection. So you start to dread the conversation because you want to avoid the negativity that comes with it. Essentially, what it is doing is triggering your fight or flight response. So even when you don't realize it, you are actively trying to avoid that. And maybe just let me share a personal story to illustrate this even better. At one of my first jobs, there was this coworker who I am not going to commit to my suspicions of why they didn't like me, but I just know they didn't like me. So no matter what I did, they always found something to criticize, some way to write it off. And at first, I thought, okay, maybe I need to work harder. I need to prove myself. I need to, engage with them in this kind of way. I was trying to find ways to actually kind of make the situation work, because we were in a work environment. I would try to be respectful, try to have someone mediate, but they still found a way to tear those efforts down. It got to a point where I started dreading going to work. I would overanalyze every conversation before having it. I would opt to work with someone else. I would lie on the team's behalf because his failure wasn't just affecting him, it was affecting the entire team. And then this vice started to spread to a second person. So with that, there was division in the team. The environment was extremely exhausting. We didn't get to solving it, but we seriously limped on for, I believe, a few months before I left. And the same thing could happen in relationships, though I'm not going to go deep into that analogy because I don't want people to get chucked when I start pointing out red flags and everything. But it could happen. You hear people refer to toxic exes and everything. That's where it comes from. So what I had to realize in that situation was I couldn't please this person, and the truth actually is, yes, you can't please everyone, and that's okay. And the reason that toxic energy hits so hard is because it messes with your identity and self-control. Identity being, toxic people will make you question yourself. They'll get you asking, am I good enough? Did I do something wrong? Did I create this? It creates that loop of self-doubt that actually drains your positive energy. And then they mess with your sense of control. You are trying to fix a situation, but there is this thing that is avoiding you from moving forward. You can't control. Because the thing is, you can't control how other people see you or treat you. So therefore, the situation just seems to be helpless. And you find that what actually happens is the toxic energy starts to grow. Why? Because toxic energy sticks when you give it power. The key there then is to take that power back. So what do? The best advice that I have ever had was to learn, to isolate, and then to recover. So when you sit down and when you go over their actions, when you go over this situation, the environment, I don't want you to dwell on it, but I do need you to reflect, to find points of learning, things that you can draw lessons from. Because from every situation and every environment we are in, we need to be learning something. Even toxic environments have something to teach you. One thing I learned from the work thing was that when you allow one toxic person to exist in a workplace, that is going to spread. It is definitely going to spread. So it is better to lose one person than to lose the entire team. That was something that I learned. So the first thing is always to learn from something. Be it a relationship. If a relationship has ended and you think this person was toxic, they were gaslighting you and everything, you need to learn from that so that you can be able to better see these traits in other people too. To kind of learn from your experiences, yes, be it a bad experience. And then the second is to isolate. This is advice for when you are still in this kind of situation. So isolate. Isolating is setting boundaries. If someone's energy is constantly toxic, stop giving them access to you. This could mean limiting conversations with them. It could mean stepping back from the relationship. It could even mean completely cutting them off. I mean, we are coming towards the end of the year, so cut that nigga off. Okay, I am joking with the whole cutting off thing, but there are going to be situations that are, let me say, when you review and think about it, you see are unsalvageable. So there is no reason in fighting and trying. You just simply see and look at the situation and you're like, you know what? This might not get better however much I do all this, because this kind of person has this kind of perception that is not going to change. So from that, you just cut it off. This person might not change, or you have given them the chances and they have not changed. Best thing there is cut ties off completely. 3 is to recover. Take time to recharge or spend time with people that lift you, to get people in that can do their job better and have the kind of environment and kind of personality and kind of energy that will lead to the overall success of your team but focus on your goals, your health, your mindset. Use that energy to rebuild your confidence, that positive energy that you get when you are either recovering or when you get in someone that can help you recover. Personally, for me, my secret weapon is comedy. When I come out of a stressful situation, let it be a meeting, or I've just had an altercation with someone and have removed myself from that kind of situation, I generally go and watch some Jamaica, I watch some SNL, Family Guy. There are lots of them, Dave Chappelle. I go and watch comedy so that I can just have a laugh. I mean, these guys are actually funny, and it kind of helps you to just find ways to lift yourself up. In your recovery time, I'm not saying go and do comedy, but it's a good option. Find something that makes you happy. Tennis is one for me. Just take time, recover, and then spend more time with people that lift you up. Okay, and then finally is you need to realize that you don't owe anyone your peace. And by peace, I mean protecting your mental space isn't selfish. It's actually necessary, and you are allowed to move out and move on of situations if they are draining you. If the situation isn't changing and you have tried, you have every right to walk away or detach emotionally. You can't build your best life while holding on to dead weight, while holding on to negative energy, while holding on to people that are holding you back. You're not going to thrive on negative energy. Most people thrive on positive energy. So if you want to live a happier, better life, be it at work, be it in a relationship, you're not going to do it with someone that has that kind of energy. And I think I'm going to leave it at that. All right, guys, that's it for today. Just remember, you are not defined by other people's opinions or the kind of environment they want around them. Just simply protect your energy, set those boundaries, and focus on people and things that bring you joy, that give you life, that help you to become better, not people who want to see you in the gutters, people who want to, take you down, and people who, I should say, are more entitled than should be, are comfortable with malice, with gossip. Just avoid that energy. And if this episode resonated with you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and let's keep growing this amazing community. I'll try to be more consistent in how I post and when I post. Otherwise, I'm your host Raymond, and this has been the 5 to 9 job. Until next time, bye-bye.